Hey there, Storm fans, Bryant Cook, and today we're playing an Ultra Sweet Legacy combo deck. And this deck name is a mouthful. Kaheera Growth Spiral Tide Combo. It's a high tide centric deck, and as you could have guessed from the name, we have Kaheera the Orphan Guard in it today. Let me zoom in on that. It's a companion creature. Well, what does that have to do with high tide, right? Well, it's a green creature that you can put in your hand. This card's pretty free to play. We don't have any creatures in our main deck. There's no downside to playing this other than the sideboard slot that it's taking up, right? So with it being a green card, we can easily support Force of Vigor out of the sideboard, which is a real cost. You could also put Kaheera to hand against discard decks, or you can put it to hand and then brainstorm it back to essentially create card advantage, which is pretty interesting. So Kaheera does a couple things within this strategy, but Force of Vigor is really the primary reason. When you look at this deck list, there's something that's missing today. Well, what is it, right? It's Cunning Wish. I've played that in previous lists here on the channel, but in the last couple, people have started to submit lists without Cunning Wish in it, because when you're already running Merchant Scroll and then you have Cunning Wish, you have a lot of tutor targets within your main deck and your sideboard, and I found that your deck feels a little bit diluted when you do this. So today we're not playing Cunning Wish, instead we're just going to run cards that work well with our Time Spiral combo deck. But that's not the only spiral in this deck. You saw it. It's Growth Spiral, a card that allows you to draw a card and put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. It does not say play a land this turn. So you have to have the land in hand when you play the Growth Spiral. It's a little bit different from a card like Explore. So, yeah, so Growth Spiral is the primary reason to be playing green today. That said, with green, you also get Xanad Swarm out of the sideboard. In previous videos, I've played a bunch of Pact of Negations. Today, we're playing Xanad Swarm, and I think that it's a pretty big upgrade. A one-sided defense grid is going to be huge in a lot of these blue matchups, and you don't have to fight Pyroblast effects with it, which is kind of a nice sideboard juke. Is there anything else? I guess I should talk about how the deck functions, right? So we want to play High Tide and then untap our lands with Turnabout, and then play Time Spiral to draw a new 7, create a pretty high storm count, cast Brain Freeze targeting the opponent. You can also deck them using Blue Sun Zenith after you make enough mana that way. Outside of that, we have a lot of cantrips like Brainstorm, Ponder, Preordain to help find our namesake of the deck, High Tide. That said, Merchant Scroll also finds High Tide. And then, you know, that's pretty much it. The deck's pretty straightforward. I was looking for a flex spot in this deck via Merchant Scroll, so like a Repeal, but Repeal doesn't answer Chalice of the Void on 1. Repeal's also really bad against Thalia. I ended up settling on an Otawara. I thought that a 19th land might be nice when running Growth Spiral. You don't have to play this card. It could be something else. It could be a Snap or an Echoing Truth. Each have their own downsides, in my opinion. But we're going to run this today, along with a Mystic Sanctuary to, I mean, we have Growth Spiral, so the odds are we're going to hit 4 islands. You can also put it into play mid-combo to potentially put a Time Spiral back on top, or I guess Time Spiral exiles itself, but you know, you never know. Maybe one's discarded, who knows. But that's the name of the game plan. When you're not running Cunning Wish, you get a really large sideboard. So today we have the Force of Vigors, as I mentioned, the Xanad Swarms, but we also have Leyline of the Void against combo decks and 3 Force of Negation. So we have a sideboard that's more likely to fight back against the metagame and some of the things that plague this deck. So we're obviously pretty bad against Narset and Hull Breacher, but this deck is a slow combo deck. It really aims to win on turns 4 or 5. So you have to survive against other combo decks, and that's really where the Force of Negation and Leyline of the Void come in. I believe I've said everything I have to say. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, whatever, put those in the comment section down below. I'll do my best to answer those. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. I'm going to hop on over to match number 1. I hope to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, early access to videos, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, such as theepicstorm.com/shop, or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation-dex. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to the first round. We are revealing our Kaheera, and our opponent is known for playing Doomsday. That said, I forgot to mention in the deck tech, there's a bug with our deck. Turnabout doesn't work. You might have seen that I posted to Twitter complaining about this. I had already recorded this leak once before I realized the bug. So the untap and tap are actually inverted. In order to untap your lands, you have to click tap. That's what we'll be doing today. I know that it's broken, but this is what we're trying to do. Okay. Flooded Strand. And our opponent is in fact playing Doomsday. You've got it. Flusterstorm down. Take a draw. Force of Will was a good one. Ponder. How about another Force of Will? Check. They play Consider. Cycle Street Wraith. Lotus Petal. We're going to Merchant Scroll for Brain Freeze here. I don't really feel the need to show them the green splash, so I'm not going to. Merchant Scroll can be dazed. It's fine. Pass. They replay the Underground Sea into a Duress. I'll let that go. They take a Force. We draw. They have 2 discard spells down at this point, which means that if we find Brain Freeze with this Merchant Scroll, we should be in a pretty good spot. I'm going to keep this other Merchant Scroll as well. Unfortunately, I think I'm supposed to show them the Tropical, because if I draw Growth Spiral, I need to be able to cast it. Grab the Brain Freeze, pass the turn. Brainstorm is on the stack. Scalding Tarn, they have 3 in hand. And another Brainstorm. We'll take a draw. Turnabout. I'm going to Merchant Scroll for Flusterstorm here, and just tell our opponent you will not be winning. They have 4 in hand. High Tide. Ponder. Don't really want any of those. We'll shuffle. Spiral was good. They're passing with 4 in hand. We draw another High Tide. So I cast the first High Tide. Tap the second for 2. Cast High Tide again. So I could Turnabout, but I'd be tapped out. I think I'm going to just pass the turn. Land number 4. Cast the Brainstorm. There we go. Player land, pass. Should I try to win here? I think I'm going to pass and then try to Turnabout them down on their turn. They play Brainstorm. Into Ponder. Yep. They shuffled on the Ponder. Consider. Sure thing. Well, now I'm not going to Turnabout them. They turned about themselves. So we'll draw the Preordain. High Tide. High Tide. Turnabout targeting us. And as I mentioned in the beginning of this round, we need to click tap, not untap. So land, tap. Gotta love Magic Online. Preordain, Storm 4. Draw the Brainstorm, we'll cast it. Storm 5. Beautiful. Make some more mana. Turnabout targeting us. Land, tap. Tap for another green. Make a bunch of blue. Time Spiral. They force pitching Thassa's Oracle. We will cast Force of Will the hard way. Storm 9. Spiral. Untap, 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 untap. Untap. Okay. Let's cast Ponder. We'll keep these. Merchant Scroll. Grab Brain Freeze. Merchant Scroll again. Grab Blue Sun Zenith. Play the Sanctuary. We'll put a scroll back on top. Yes. Play a Brainstorm. Storm 13. Beautiful. Get rid of the Growth Spiral. We'll keep a Merchant Scroll. Play the other Merchant Scroll. Get another Flusterstorm. Cast a Brainstorm. Preordain. Put these both on the bottom. Brain freeze targeting you with 17 copies. So it's 17 times 3, and the opponent just concedes. Boom! All right, take that. Likely want Xanded Swarm in this matchup. Getting rid of the growth spirals. We're going to need the Echoing Truth for Shield Dread. And I believe that we want the Force of Negation as well to stop them from winning. So that's 64. We have to find a card to board out. I believe that it's probably supposed to be Preordain. I know that you don't really want to take out consistency cards, but this is a combo mirror. You need to just have a lot of haymakers. So that's what Xanded Swarm and Force of Negation are. Game number 2, and well, this is a good one. Keep. Underground Sea from the opponent into Ponder. You've got it. We draw Basic Island. I'm just going to put the Xanded Swarm on the stack. There's 1 daze in that deck. I'm not going to play around it. Swarm. Force pitching Force. I'm going to force pitching the Blue Sun Zenith, which means that our other win condition is the Brain Freeze. We're down to 1 win condition at the moment. Ooh, Duress. Merchant Scroll down. Draw Brainstorm. I'm just going to attack and pass. So one of the key things about playing Xanded Swarm is you need to attack every single turn, because if you don't, you're giving your opponent information. And they're passing. Take a draw. We will attack with the bug. I'm going to auto-yield to the trigger, though. I'm going to Brainstorm, see if I can find anything here that can help us. Getting rid of the auto... Maybe I shouldn't because of the Shield Dread. Alright, I'm going to put Otawara on top, and I can always fetch it away if they don't play it on turn 4. Okay. Doomsday. They have 3 in hand. I'm pressured to force this, so I'm going to. So if I wait a turn, I could put the Merchant Scroll on top. I think I'm going to do that. Brainstorm for the opponent. Alright, fetch with the Misty. We'll grab Mystic Sanctuary, triggers, Merchant Scroll. Yes. Draw for turn. Attack with the bug. Play the Merchant Scroll. Go grab the Brain Freeze. Pass. And there's Shield Dread. We have the Otawara, but no gas. Alright, so... Ooh, that hurts. Okay. Don't know how I'm supposed to play this. I mean, having the answer is nice, but I am pretty far away from being able to win, I feel like. Shield Dread gets in, I go to 11. They play a Ponder. And another Ponder. Can auto-yield to this ability. They have 3 in hand. I think I'm supposed to deal myself 6 here. Brainstorm. I have those 2 on top, I guess. I'm just so far from winning the game. Now I go to 3. Yeah, I should just go to game 3. We lost that one. Hit submit. On the play. Sure. No Xanded Swarm, but I don't know. I don't feel like I'm supposed to mulligan this. Play Ponder. Pass the turn. Basic Island into Brainstorm. Sure thing. Lotus Petal. Oh. Duress. Sure. Is this a Cabal Ritual into Doomsday? Or Dark Ritual into Doomsday? Wow. Another Thoughtseize. This seems like a pretty stacked hand. They take Ponder. Lotus Petal is your last card, Doomsday? It's gotta be, right? Shield Dread. Wow! What a hand! Okay. I have 1 Echoing Truth in the deck. Shuffle. What a hand. So I'm going to 12 here. So if I Brainstorm, I'm taking lethal if I don't Brainstorm into land Echoing Truth. But then if I don't, they attack me and I'm dead anyway. So I might as well just pray for land Echoing Truth, and I did not hit. So I take 6, they attack for 4. That is game. Wow. Okay, we got demolished in game number 3 against Doomsday, and we are 0-1. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Match number 2, we are revealing our Kaheera. Reasonable hand. No interaction, but it's a fast one. Keep. Mox Diamond. Discards Plains. Dryad Arbor, so green-white depths. They have 3 in hand. Take a draw. Another Growth Spiral. The green splash is a little bit risky against this Wasteland deck, so we want to hold those Growth Spirals for as long as we can. We just need land, so we're going to shuffle this. Technically a land. Thespian Stage. Elvish Reclaimer. Okay. They have 2 in hand. We draw Brainstorm. So in a matchup like this, the Growth Spiral is going to look particularly good because it's going to give us 4 lands on turn 3, so that way we can just be a touch bit faster. And now our opponent is going to go get Dark Depths to represent... I would have guessed that they were getting Dark Depths. They did not. That's interesting. Because I guess they already had it. They have 2 in hand. We will fetch. Grab the Tropical. Growth Spiral. Put in the Delta. Fetch. Grab a Trop. Brainstorm. Another Spiral. Doesn't really do much here. Okay. Mystic Sanctuary. Put Brainstorm on top. It doesn't really matter. Oh! Oh my, did I really just do that? Did I really just do that? Oh my. That was supposed to be a high tide. Narrating Brainstorm just made me... Oh my. I can't win now. I can't believe I did that. Wow. So if I high tide, it's only 4 mana. I really messed this up. Wow. That's heartbreaking. Bring in the Echoing Truth. Board out this Pact to Negation. We're going to board out Flusterstorm for the Force of Vigors for Deafening Silence. Hit Submit. What was I doing? Reveal the Kaheera. Sure. Play Island, pass the turn. Basic Forest, and they're passing. Turnabout was a very good draw. Okay. So we'll Merchant Scroll for High Tide here. Not Brainstorm, High Tide. Pass. Flagstones. You're passing again, huh? What's the deal? We'll pass back. They play a Taiga. Knight of the Reliquary, sure. Draw for turn. Another Merchant Scroll. I wish this Otawara was an island, but it's still better than a... It would have been a Snap or an Echoing Truth here. It would have been better a Snap, but Snap doesn't answer Chalice of the Void, which was an issue. Grab the Trop. Cast High Tide. So if I tap this, you'll get another High Tide. Cast the Tide. This taps for 3. That works. Alright, so we'll scroll. Go get another High Tide. Play it. Tap for triple blue. Target ourselves with Turnabout. Mindbreak Trap. We will force pitching Blue Sun Zenith. And our opponent just concedes. Sure. Why C7 off of a Time Spiral? Okay. Maybe we don't want Force of Vigor. Mindbreak Trap Pyroblast deck. Maybe I leave in the Flusters? Maybe one Pact? I'm not sure. Reveal the Kaheera. Okay. Elvish Reclaimer, you've got it. We drew the Pact to Negation. I think that these are all keeps. We do need to find what is it called? Time Spiral. But I mean, this hand's pretty reasonable. That's a Sylvan Library, sure thing. Ouch. Whoops, undo. We're gonna fetch here. Grab the trop. Play the growth spiral. Okay. And ponder. I think we keep these. Windswept Teeth. So I could try to go off here. I mean, it'd be pretty risky, but just hear me out. So we could high tide, turnabout. And with the delta, we can go get Sanctuary to put Ponder on top. We technically get 5 looks at a spiral. My fear is if I pass, they're going to Elvish Reclaimer for Wasteland, and then I'm going to start losing. They are representing a Pyroblast right now. So we'll put the Ponder on top. Yes. So high tide, 1 floating. This is 6. I think it's better than letting them see 3 more cards off library plus Wasteland next turn. I'm going to go for it. High tide. High tide. Turnabout targeting me. If this resolves, we will be able to hardcast Force of Will moving forward. But right now I cannot hardcast the Force of Will, and I need the Preordain as action. Looks like they're going to attempt a Pyroblast. Back to negation. Pyroblast Mind Break, they got me. Damn. Preordain. Bottom, we'll keep the Ponder. Ponder. And it would have hit the spiral? Aw, damn. That's a bummer. We can actually try again next turn. Pass. They're using the Reclaimer, sacrificing Karakas. They get Thespian Stage. That's a Dark Depths. They have 2 in hand. Can I win here? We were double stopped last turn, but I have a chance at glory here. Time Spiral. And it resolved, okay. Our opponent just conceded. I feel like those are very aggressive concessions, but I'll take the W. We are now 1-1. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Round number 3, we are on the play. Reveal our combo cat. Yeah, we just we have Merchant Scroll for High Tide. We just need a couple lands. Scalding Tarn past the turn. Grief pitching Gristlebrand. Force of Will pitching Growth Spiral. We don't need them to know what our hand is. That's fine. And they're passing? Okay. Second main phase land. Thoughtsy, sure. Pretty far away from winning this. Merchant Scroll down. Okay. High Tide, let's see it. Underground Sea. Dark Ritual. Entomb. Legacy decks are just so powerful nowadays. Look at this. Turn 2 Gristlebrand with double discard. It's quite powerful. We've lost this one. We're going to go to the next game. Ouch. My feelings. But we do have some cards to board in. We have Force of Negation and these Leyline of the Voids. It's going to be great. Board out the Growth Spirals. Now we need 2 more cuts. Likely don't need this Pact to Negation. Probably take out the Preordain as well. Submit. Yes, I would like to be on the play. Reveal the combo cat once again. Yup. Leyline of the Void. Almost skipped through my turn there. Whoops. Land go. Maybe this is the match that Kaheera comes up. I'll play the cat and attack them to death. Let's go. Unmask targeting me. Sure. High Tide down. Faithless Looting. Discard Silence and Violence. Okay. They boarded in Silence, huh? Let's fetch. Ponder. I like these. Take a draw, it's High Tide. I could go get the Kaheera here. I'm going to pass. I feel like going shields down to put a Kaheera to my hand is probably not the best choice. I don't remember what this card is. Let's find out together. Okay, another Ponder. Clearly I was a genius for putting it there off the first Ponder. Instead of taking the Otawara, I'm just going to take another Ponder here. Try to find another island. Ponder. That is technically an island. We will fetch with the polluted delta. The reason to do this is I don't want to have to fetch to Flusterstorm later and shuffle away my Mystic Sanctuary target. Put the other High Tide on top. Yes, pass the turn. They have 4 in hand. So I can go High Tide floating 1, tap these, Time Spiral. If I fluster here, they can pay. We're just going to let it go. Pass the turn. So many silences. Reanimator isn't really a deck that needs silence in it, so a little bit odd. We'll hard cast this Force. They have 2 in hand. Take a draw. Attempt to High Tide again. That one resolves. Time Spiral. One who just concedes. Sure. People do not like waiting for High Tide to win. Silence. What? Jeez. I'm going to resubmit my deck. I don't think I need to change any cards here. Reveal the Kaheera. Sign me up. So good. Keep Leyline on the battlefield. Why would you ever play 4 of these when you can have 3 and then always open hand the card you need? It's just basic math. Sure. You can unmask me. Merge and scroll down. They play Verdant Catacombs. Turnabout. Preordain. Put that Leyline on the bottom. Don't really need a Brainstorm here. Fluster was a good draw. Swamp and they pass. Ponder. Cast it. These are all perfects. Pass the turn. Verdant Catacombs, they have 4 cards. Cast another Ponder. Don't shuffle, and now I'm going to Merchant Scroll for High Tide. Am I getting hit by Opposition Agent here? I guess not. Okay. Grab the High Tide. Pass. Going in with 5 cards in hand. We'll take a draw step. Leyline of the Void. Not one I needed. I could try to High Tide Turnabout right here, but our opponent has shown us silence already, so I don't think that's a wise move. And they're just passing back. Another polluted delta. Pass. I can turnabout them on their end step now. They're going to tear my Leyline. I'm going to say no to that. Polluted delta. Let's fetch Mystic Sanctuary. Put a Ponder on top. Cast the Ponder. Beautiful. I did want land number 5 here, and that Ponder made sure I hit it, so that's fine. Once again, my plan is to turnabout their lands on their end step. I guess my concern here is turnabout bugged for opponents? If I click untap on my opponent's lands, will it leave them untapped? Oh, geez. Not knowing how this card works is very frustrating here. Turnabout the opponent. Land? Please work. Please work. There we go. Whew. Shields down. High Tide. Time Spiral. That was very stanky. Okay, so we'll fetch. Grab an island. I think I'm supposed to get Blue Sun Zenith here. So this taps for 4. We'll get Merchant, or we'll cast Merchant Scroll. Grab the Blue Sun. And the opponent just decided they had enough, which is fine by me. Let's draw some cards. And it won't let me, but we're 2-1 with Kaheera Growth Spiral, Time Spiral combo, which is pretty sweet. Let's get the last 2. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Cardhoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Match 4 on the play, revealing the Kaheera. I guess so. I mean, so you could look at this hand and think Otawara sucks. And I would probably agree with you. That said, is this better than Snap or Echoing Truth right here? Slightly. Like, I'd rather have a land that can cast High Tide initially than a card that does nothing. Let's begin. Play Island, pass the turn. City of Traders, Chrome Mox, okay. So it's Moon Stompy. Chalice on 1. So I have the answer in our hand, but I need more lands to get there, and we find them. I'm gonna get rid of the Growth Spiral. We don't need that. Okay, well, I guess that's fine. I can fetch. Merchant Scroll. We will grab Force of Will. Goblin Rabble Master, why don't you eat that Force of Will? So the best 2 draws we could possibly hit are land number 4. Well, that's not land number 4. Into Time Spiral. Trinisphere. Pain in the butt. In theory, we're able to beat Trinisphere, but it's incredibly difficult. We have to pass. That's the Simian Spirit Guide. We draw a Force. We'll pass. So we need to get to the point where we have at least 5 lands in play. And I draw a Time Spiral. The Blood Moon's going to resolve, but I'm going to get another basic first. Okay, play out the mountain, pass. This actually doesn't matter, because I can tap for this to pay for the Trinisphere. We just need to hit the turnabout, or no, I'm sorry, the Time Spiral now. I'm going to counter this. Come on, deck, give me Time Spiral, please. I'm at 12. Ding! Let's go! Alright, so on our turn, we're going to, on their end step, we're going to bounce Otawara. We're going to use Otawara to bounce the Chalice to the Void. And then we're going to attempt to win through Trinisphere. I hope you're ready. They played a land. This is it. Alright, we're on their end step. We will channel the Otawara, bouncing Chalice to the Void. This is so awesome. Okay. High Tide. Turnabout targeting me. Land, and then we have to click tap. Make some more blue mana. Turnabout targeting me. Land. Tap. Gotta love that bug. Alright, and now we play Time Spiral. I hate Trinisphere so much. This is so great. How do I want to do this? Play Brainstorm. It does cost 3 mana. Did not hit a basic island. Kind of not great. We'll play this non-basic island. Merchant Scroll. Go get another High Tide. Play it. Tap all these. Turnabout targeting me. Land. Tap. Tap these for red. Merchant Scroll. What do I want to get here? Probably just another turnabout to make sure that mana's not an issue. Land, tap, tap again, cast the Time Spiral. So much mana floating. Yikes. This is good enough, though, or it should be good enough. We'll channel the Otawara to... Part of me wants to leave the Trinisphere in play as like a brag move, so I think I might do that. No one cares about your shitty little Trinisphere. Get rid of these. Play another High Tide. Gotta increase that storm count. Merchant Scroll. We'll get the Brain Freeze. Merchant Scroll. Go get Blue Sun Zenith. Brain Freeze you. Take that, Trinisphere. No one likes you. Absolutely no one. And they're letting us see their deck. How nice of them. Unlicensed Hearse. There's a Fury in there. Haze of Chaos Adventure, so they're playing the initiative creature. Love it. Game 2. Bring in this Echoing Truth. We definitely want the Force of Negations, Force of Vigor. Probably board out the Growth Spirals. This Pact of Negation. We can board out the Flusters. It's 59, so I actually get to keep a card. Maybe we keep one Growth Spiral. Or we could board out Preordains and keep the green count high for the Force of Vigor, which might be better. Yeah, I'm down for that. Game 2. Imagine playing Chalice of the Void into Trinisphere and losing to the mono blue combo deck. Jeez. I mean, I'm going to keep this. They've mulliganed to 6. Den of the Bugbear. Simian Spirit Guide. Chalice of the Void. Sure thing. Draw for turn. It's High Tide. Pass. Ancient Tomb. That's a rabble. The clock has started. Ouch. Draw. Technically an island. Let's fetch. Merchant Scroll. Grab the Echoing Truth. Pass the turn. Squee Dubious Monarch. You've got it. They play a land. They'll create some goblins. Taking a bunch of damage here. I think I've lost this game. I'm at 8. If I drew Force of Vigor there, I could Echoing Truth the goblin tokens and stay alive, but yeah, we out. Game 3 coming up. Resubmit. Game 3 on the play, reveal our combo cat. Unfortunately not. I'm going to keep it, but this hand is not great. Bottom of High Tide. We have the Growth Spiral for Force of Negation or Force of Vigor if we find it. Play Scalding Tarn. We're going to get a basic. I'm not even going to fetch a green source. I don't want to open myself up to Blood Moon. Play Preordain. I don't think I can afford to keep either of those. Yikes. Mountain, and they're passing. Interesting. Draw. No land. Awkward. City of Traders. They then play Chalice of the Void on 1. We're going to force it, pitching Growth Spiral. They have Pyroblast backup. Sure thing. Okay. Decent draw, but we still need lands. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Simian Spirit Guide. They play another City of Traders. Legion War Boss. So they have 1 in hand. I think I'm supposed to Force of Vigor the Chalice now. So they have 1 card. So this stops them from looting next turn. And if I draw a cantrip, I can use it. So we'll get rid of these. Pitch the Growth Spiral. Come on, deck, please. Damn. Who needs lands? Yeah, we're out. We've lost this game. You know what? Honestly, I'm okay with losing the match after what we did game 1. And I really do mean that. Like, that was so awesome. It was worth this entire league to me. And I truly mean that. Like, that's what I will remember 6 months from now. I won't be losing the sideboard games. It'll be the fact that I beat a Trinisphere on the board. So still pretty happy about that. Round number 5 coming up. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. Round number 5, revealing Kaheera the Orphan Guard. I wonder if you're even supposed to reveal it in game 1s. I don't know, just a random thought. We will keep this. It also just might throw off your opponents, and that could be worth it. I'm not sure. Opponent plays an island. We'll play a tropical island, strictly better. Unless a Blood Moon happens. Opponent casts Ponder. Volcanic. Play out basic island, pass. Opponent plays Brainstorm. Wasteland. Womp womp. Let's cast Growth Spiral. I have been dazed. Okay. That's a channeler. Merchant Scroll. Grab Turnabout. We need to find a Time Spiral. They replay the volcanic. Out. And we rip the spiral. Okay, so they have 4 in hand. We can go for it. Or I can wait a turn to play around days. I should probably just wait a turn to play around days. They lightning bolt me, that's fine. Brainstorm. Surveils away a brazen borrower, and the channeler is non-delirious. Flooded Strand, they have 3 cards in hand. Attacks for 3. I got a 12 life. And here's a big Murktide. Sure thing. Not trying to sound too cocky, but as long as the time spiral isn't terrible, I think we've got this. That was a good draw. High Tide. High Tide. Turnabout targeting me. Land and tap. Once again, there's a bug with Magic Online. Those 2 words are inverted. I ruined it. I opened up my mouth. It happened. The draw 7 was terrible. Okay, how do we possibly win this? Cast High Tide. Merchant Scroll. So this resolved. My choices are to get Blue Sun Zenith or Brainstorm. I believe we're supposed to get the Zenith. 17 mana. 1, 2, 3. So then this is how many we draw. So if I do 7, I have Spiral with Fluster backup, but I can't pay for days. So should I only do 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Roll Zenith for 6. They Force of Will pitching Murktide. I will Fluster Storm. Okay, the Force of Will has been countered, and now our opponent will get their Surveil trigger. Zenith. That was very good. Okay, so we'll turn about ourselves. Land. Tap. Cast Ponder. Storm 11. I think we just take another High Tide. Cast the High Tide. So much mana. Time Spiral again. And this wins. The dragon gets a little bit bigger. We will now Merchant Scroll. Go get the Brain Freeze. Turnabout targeting me just for Storm count. Land, tap. We will now cast the lethal Brain Freeze to deck our opponent. 48 cards. Good deal. Fluster Storm. And the opponent concedes. Perfect. Let's try bringing in the bugs. Board out the growth spirals. It's not really a speed-based matchup. Submit. Sure, we'll try it. Included Delta, Volcanic Island, and do Channeler. Island go. Opponent casts a Ponder, they Surveil, they leave it on top. A Wasteland. Sure. Island go. Hanging onto these brainstorms for a little bit. And they cast their own. Counterbalance. Looted Delta. Delver's Secrets. We'll take 3 down to 16. I have 4 cards in hand. We draw another Fluster. Cast a Brainstorm now. Get rid of the Tropical. And we don't need 3 Flusters, so we'll get rid of one of those. Fetch. Sheridan. High Tide Ponder. I want both of these. Pass. Delver triggers. Flips to Force of Will. We're in trouble. They play a Ponder. We need to find Time Spiral immediately. Because we are dead to another creature or Lightning Bolt. Okay, we'll go to 9. The next turn they can attack for 6 again, plus Bolt would be lethal. Or another creature. Play the Brainstorm. None of those do it. That said, I do have double Fluster to potentially stop a Bolt from killing me. Let's Ponder. And there's the Spiral. Pass. I wonder if I should actually Ponder again looking for land number 5. I think the answer is yes. Oh, I guess it won't let me. Okay. I clicked the button, so it's my own fault. I play a Scalding Tarn. And I go to 3. End step, cast Brainstorm. We found the land anyway. Perfect life. High tide. Come on, let it go. And they listened. Fool! Cast time spiral. They cast Pyroblast. I will go to 2 life and force will the Pyroblast, pitching Preordain. They will force back. I'm going to Flusterstorm the Pyroblast. So I have to put at least 4 copies on the Pyro. So 1, that's 2, 3, 4. They can pay for, so I need to do 1 there, and then I can do 1 at the Force of Will. The Pyroblast will be countered. Okay. And I will Fluster the Force. So I guess we lose the Daze. And it is in fact a Daze. They got me. Okay. Game 3. We're on the play. Yeah. I mean, we need to find lands and Spiral, but I think you're supposed to keep this. Ponder. This is risky. I'm going to keep it. I might get bit. Scalding Tarn. You can have a Ponder. Redraw the Time Spiral, and then Ponder looking for land 2. We found it. And just in case of Stifle, like, it's probably incredibly rare, but let's just grab the island now. They play a Ponder. Another Volcanic into Channeler. Sure thing. Come on, deck, give me land. Ponder. Found land 3. We'll pass. Maddening Hex. Yep. I know that there's a Brainstorm somewhere on the top of my deck. I don't know if it's the next card or their card after, but we can afford to pitch. Cluster the Force. They now get to Surveil. And they will be Delirious once this Maddening Hex hits the graveyard. Okay, so now they can attack for 3. I go to 15. We'll draw. It's the Brainstorm. Turnabout. So if I disrespect our opponent, I can go for it here. I'm going to pass. They play a Flooded Strand, 3 cards. I'm going to play it. I think we're supposed to try to win here. I'm not really sure. But we can't beat like a counterbalance or anything off the top, so there's only so much risk you can take. Attempt to turnabout. Land, tap. So they gave me an extra mana by not wasting there. Spiral. Floating 3 mana. Force pitch Daze. So they had the Daze last turn. And if I fluster, they can actually pay for it. So not good enough. They got me. So we finished this 2 and 3. I mean, I could have sat there and waited, but I knew that my next card was also a Brain Freeze, so it wasn't getting that much better. So if we look at this deck list, what do I think? Realistically, I'm not sure how much Growth Spiral mattered. We would have had a really sweet win if I didn't mess it up versus Naya. So that was sort of frustrating. The Force of Vigor did come up against Mono Red, but we didn't win those games, so it's tough to say. We didn't see Xanadu versus the deck full of forces. Kind of a bummer. Let me know what you think. I'd appreciate that. And have a great day. Keep storming. All that good jazz. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.